For our music video, we decided we wanted to express the struggles teenagers go through in relationships, battling with maturity specifically, where teenagers become unsure as to how to handle long-term relationships and begin to overthink their situation. The main storytelling is done with the lyrics, like most mainstream music, but we chose to amplify the lyrics with our video. It was important that the audience directly understood our narrative, so to do this, we followed many conventions throughout our production. Firstly, we focused on the casting and their costume. We chose to dress the couple up to juxtapose each other. The male was scruffy and dirty. We also chose to include an iconic piece of costume. This is something very common in mainstream music videos, so we replicated this idea with a tiger print t-shirt that featured throughout the video. To contrast him, we gave the female actress cleaner and more modern clothing to help relate to our audience, as most of Coldplay's and the Chainsmokers audience is young and of the mainstream audience. Her costume is always changing to give off the idea that time has passed between each scene, yet to the male cast it is all one day. Props were also a key symbol to a narrative. In conventional music videos, a music video will feature lots of symbolic props that always have deeper meanings to be analysed, much like Lady Gaga's Poker Face video, where it rapidly changes scenes and introduces new setting and props that all give off her different emotions. However, we didn't agree with this convention and believed it would have a stronger impact if we chose to focus on a few props rather than the many, as it would make it appear more powerful. We agreed on two main props, toast and empty alcohol bottles. The two are meant to symbolize the female cast's love, as she hands it to him, but he turns it down and ignores her. It was important to feature this in the video, as conventional music videos often do include heartbreak or sad moments to contrast the cheerful aspects that they may contain. The alcohol subsequently symbolizes his distraction. Pragmatically, they appear to be the reason as to why he does not love her. With tone, we wanted to follow conventional ways of exaggerating character behavior, specifically with spotlights on them. We saw this being used in Owl City's music video, Verge, and in its beginning, it shows the characters' details and how they contrast each other. The use of a spotlight in our music video made it very professional and resulted in a higher quality final piece. Conventionally, the star is placed under the spotlight, so the audience instantly recognizes them. We replicated this where possible in our video. The spotlight aided greatly with camera techniques and camera movement. We also used the camera to make our music videos stand out from traditional music videos. A lot of our angles were mid-range, and we kept the camera constantly on our protagonist. Some shots were varied, and they helped to keep the music video interesting. It was important to do this, as it immediately alerts the audience, as traditionally, a music video will feature lots of characters, but we kept it focused on expressing a single character's emotions and giving the lyrics more emotional value. Performance was essential to express the narrative. I chose to have the cast show contrasting emotions to show off the differences in their relationship. The female cast was loving and caring. We constantly had her moving about and touching our male cast to show physically to the audience her affection. This is shown to be even more powerful by having the male cast break the fourth wall, by staring into the camera, emotionless and still, aside from singing the lyrics, as they are showing his feelings pragmatically and giving the audience an insight into why he is like he is. It is important to my audience to express this narrative, as much of my demographic will be going through similar situations. Representation also came with this method of expression. My cast were young adults, but I wanted them to appear like teenagers to add a relatability to the audience so they can engage with our story. It resulted in a twist in the narrative. The story that began as a mature, long-term relationship became a story that tells the audience about a young couple who don't know what they want from the relationship. I believe by making it like this, it can be given a negotiated reading, which is better for music videos as it gives them replayability. Conventions were taken further, especially when doing Digipack and the magazine advert. I analysed existing products to see where they apply certain aspects. This allowed me to create a more professional final piece which was easier to understand to a wider audience. It was important to do this because a poster and Digipack are something that just won't be seen by the fan base like the music video, but also be seen by any mainstream consumer. The layout we chose was a generic layout, featuring the artist standing enigmatically on the front. Like a recent Rihanna poster that we enjoyed the design of, with the band and album name clearly shown at the top and bottom of the page, bringing even more attention to the band in the center. It was a good way to follow conventions, as it made it easier to implement the existing house styles of the artist, especially with Coldplay's rainbow color scheme. Due to our product's mainstream themes, it was simple to incorporate this wild and abstract color scheme. Conventionally, we also wanted to make sure we included their websites, as this would inform viewers who want to know more. Typical layout plans were followed. We used pre-made templates to create our piece. And for the magazine advert, we've made sure that the fonts were easy to read by utilizing a sans serif font and the use of large weight and size. We also focused on including the protagonist very clearly on the front and center.